Hello and welcome to another YouTube video where we're tying videos blindfolded today. Isn't that something? My name is Mitch. We've got Aldo.
Hey.
We've got Yelma.
Hey, everyone.
And we've got a really special guest here today, all the way from Georgia, and his name is Brad. And how's it going, Brad?
Good. How are y'all?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on.
Good, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, it's super interesting actually because so I don't know if you guys if people out there have been watching what we're doing on social, we've been doing something called trashflies, which is we had Chris and Nick Groves tie up some flies using trash from the Humber River in Southern Ontario to raise awareness of plastic and single-use plastics and trash pollution in our rivers. And we put those up on social. And then when we were exploring the social comments and stuff like that, we stumbled upon another page called Project Litterbug, which is Brad's page. And it's amazingly basically the same thing, which is tying flies using litter. Brad, do you want to talk a little bit about what that is and how you kind of got into it?
Yeah, sure. So I just really got back into fly tying. I'm originally from South Florida, and that's where I got into it. Kind of fell off, and again, recently found a new interest in it, through Instagram and just looking for a hobby to get into. And after a while, time flies. I started seeing people, different projects and different ideas, and I was like, I want to come up with something, something different, something challenging. And I thought about my interests and what I like, and one thing was time flies, and another interest I have is anti-litter and keeping garbage picked up.
Yeah.
I'm not a full-on radical conservationist or tree hugger or anything like that, but I definitely believe in keeping things clean. I'm a stickler for litter. I can't stand going fishing and seeing beer cans and fishing line discarded, and it just drives me nuts. So using those two things, I came up with this idea of Project Litterbug and decided to, playing off the name of bugs from time flies and litter being trash, put them both together, and one thing led to another, and here I am now.
There you go.
It was just one of those things. I just took a shot at it, and people ended up liking it, and which I would have done it regardless. I didn't do it for likes. I just, when I saw that people were interested in it, I was like, well, I'm onto something, so keep going. It kind of motivated me.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I mean, it is such a huge problem, like you say, litter on the rivers, and I know the fact that we're all like fly tires are thinking about, flies out of trash in multiple parts of North America is like amazing. It just shows you how how crazy this problem is,
Absolutely.
So what are we going to do today, Aldo? What's going on?
Well, it's blindfolded tying, but obviously today with a twist, we're all going to be using trash. So
yes.
I went out to the river yesterday. I went up to the Credit River, and the thing I saw the most was, like you said, beer cans and Monster Energy drink cans.
Oh, yeah.
I had seen this kind of cool thing on a craft brewer's website where they showed you how to make a hook out of the tab of a can. So that's what I did.
That's
so I'm
cool.
starting with that hook, and then I found a bag of cheesies, and I cut it, and I think that's going to be my tail. And I found some twist ties, and so I think I'm not going to use thread at all. I think I'm actually going to use a twist tie to bind everything. That way I don't use any.
Whoa.
First of all, it's I'm kind of like there's an ulterior motive here, and I'm like trying to make it easy on myself. But at the same time, I think it might work out. I think it's going to be like
it's going to be 100% trash.
Fly. It's going to be 100%. It's 100% trash.
That's amazing. Nice.
And I think going off of like the last time we did this will be kind of like a trash damsel.
Yep.
Cheesy damsel.
Okay. Right on.
I think so.
Brad, what did you prepped some stuff too? You picked some garbage up. Whereabouts did you get your trash from?
Actually, right down the road from my neighborhood, we have it's private property. There's a pond on it.
Yeah.
And there's a ditch that runs along the road that leads to my neighborhood that feeds that pond. And so I just walked the roadway along that ditch and picked up a bunch of different trash. When I first started the project, I was trying to do like you were with 100% trash out of a fly.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get bored with it, but I found it very challenging. So what I started to do was just incorporate trash in already known patterns.
Right.
And so like when I picked up trash the other day, I found a couple of like the garlic.
Oh, like the little bags.
Well, no, the
yeah.
like garlic dipping sauce.
Oh yeah, like the lid things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
So I cut those in the strips.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I'm going to attempt to tie the first fly I learned to tie, which is a Schminnow.
Okay.
And using that incorporated in it as like some extra flash because
Nice.
it's a foil.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Man.
great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's pretty rad. I can
So-
dig that.
That's rad. Yeah.
Well, I went outside much like you
Brett-
did, and I went to the ditch as well because like I'm not really near a river right now, and but there's tons of garbage just on the ditch, and it's crazy because I'm actually pretty far out in the kind of in the woods right now of like Canada, like in Ontario.
You're on a lake.
Yeah, I'm on a lake, but there's no garbage on the lake, but there is garbage on the side of the highways and stuff like that. So I found there was a bunch of beer cans and some plastic garbage bags and stuff like that. So I found a black garbage bag on the road and I cut it up into this kind of hackle that I'm going to try to, use somehow. I don't know if that's going to work out. And then I found a couple cans, but I used this one of Big Lemon Gingerade, which is like I guess a ginger lemonade kind of thing. I don't know, but it was cool. It's yellow and green, so I was like, that's gonna make a nice wing on my fly. So I'm gonna use that, and it was actually
wing?
a plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, it came off of the metal, so I was like, okay, I was like cutting the metal, and then this came off, and I was like, oh, sick. So anyways, and then I have a little tail I made. So
Oh, you guys are seriously prepared. All three of you guys thought this through nicely.
well,
I'm very
I think
excited.
I think it's a really bad idea for either any of. I was like, I'm not sitting down and I'm prepping my materials blindfolded because this thing is just gonna look like. It's just going to be a ball of trash on a hook, which could be cool. I don't know, but yes, preparation.
Tried to make it as easy. And Yelma, what are you going to do while we're tying?
I'm going to be doing my little segment called Fact or Fishy, where I ask 3 questions, and you three will have to guess whether they're true or false.
Okay, right on.
While you guys tie blindfolded. So,
Okay, I dig it.
Nice.
And drinking some 40 Creek copper pot.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, yeah, I got that going on too.
Oh man, I need to get some of that, man. I'm drinking Busch Light. Look at this. But hey, I love Busch
Nothing wrong with
Light.
that, man.
I love my Busch Light.
Brad, real quick before we start, what do you fish for? What do you like fishing for?
Around here in South Georgia, about an hour from the coast. So it's mainly bass fishing and brim. But like I said, I am an hour from the coast, so when I get to, I'll scoot over there and go for trout or redfish.
Oh, nice.
But mainly bass.
Yeah.
So.
Also, man, one of my favorite movies of all time is A Christmas Story. So nice shirt, nice T-shirt, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great T-shirt. That's true.
It is a wicked T-shirt. Like I'm 37 years old, and I still watch it every year for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Great flick, man.
That's my tradition. Every year we watch it.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's
good.
awesome.
Best.
All right, shall we? Blindfold?
Yeah, let's do this, guys.
Do it up. Let's blindfold up and see what we can do.
This is crazy.
Oh, this is gonna be weird. I will say, Brad, just know where your scissors are. That's always my goal.
Oh, scissors. Crap, you're right. I forgot to get those out.
What?
I'm crazy.
Always-
I'm crazy. I'm losing it.
You're crazy, man. Okay. All right, I got my tail, I got my thing. All right, Yelma, take it away, man.
All right. So this is Fact or Fishy, and the first question. Son and father. Everybody ready? Okay. So,
we're ready,
Rich,
baby.
Yeah. You ready? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Son and father were fishing in Lake Huron for Lakers, of course. And to their surprise, they ended up pulling out a laptop. This laptop looked relatively new.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, they took it into the authorities, just in an attempt to return it to the proper owner. So the detective at the time found this very interesting as to okay, this laptop, I'm going to start detecting. Excuse my beep, my swear word. Anyways, luckily, the water damage wasn't as it didn't damage the hard drive as much as I guess he thought. Took it in, found some evidence, and solved a murder in that town. Fact or fishy?
Okay, hold on. This is the craziest story, man.
That's a fun one,
We
right?
have to break this one down.
Yeah,
here.
Aldo, can you break this one down for us?
Okay, so two guys are out fishing. Sorry,
Lake
father
Huron.
and son are out fishing.
Yeah.
And they're like down rigging for Lakers. They pull up a laptop and they're like, whoa, this laptop's brand new. So then they bring it to the police. And right, Yilma?
Yeah,
Nice
yeah,
guys.
that's
And
correct.
the police is like, okay, well, we'll try and figure out whose laptop this is and return it to them. But then they open it up and find sinister material, and then they solve a murder from it.
Yes.
Yelma, come on.
I'm an optimist. I'm gonna have to say fact.
Yeah, you're going fact with this
Oh, I
one.
like that. I like that. You know,
This is
I'm with
too
Brad.
crazy
Like, I
not to
hope this
prove.
is true.
This is the craziest fact or fishy I've ever heard. I don't know,
Well,
man.
two things. If this is true, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if it's fishy, this is the best story Yilma's ever written. So it's win-win either way.
That's true. That is a good point. I don't know. I'm gonna say fishy just because I don't know if laptops something about electronics and water. I feel like, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go fact
They
with
put it
Brad.
in rice first.
Crazy things have happened, right?
Crazier things have happened, man.
Okay, Yelma, what is it?
It's fishy. I made it up.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was
Your
kind of hoping it
writing
was
skills.
fact too, actually, because honestly, that I could see something like that being like, oh no, it was totally fact, you know, like the laptop wasn't there that long, and okay, fishy, good story, Yelma.
Yeah, thanks. I'm starting to because I'm going through all these blogs, and to be honest, I'm seeing the same sort of story over and over again, hooking into an alligator, fishing with, rattlesnakes. But I think making it up just brings it. Like it's more fun,
Yeah.
Get some
So
interesting
everything from
stories.
now on is just going to be fishy.
Yeah, it's gonna be fishy from
everything
now
from
on. I'm
now
just gonna
on.
make up everything.
It's just fishy with Yilma.
Do you know what? So
Yeah.
in between these factor fishies, you know what I'm realizing right now, guys, is that I'm tying this fly much like it's just a normal fly, but I just realized just now that I'm tying with a garbage bag and it's breaking and I can't work with it. And I'm like, obviously, this is gonna be like a nightmare.
I found with this project
Yeah.
that you have to go through the garbage after you clean it up.
Yep.
And I found like materials that I would think, oh, this would make a great fly because I could see using this and
Right.
doing this with it. But it's too fragile, or if it gets wet, it'll be fragile. Something like cardboard or styrofoam. At first glance, you're like, oh, I could do this and that. But
It doesn't
when
work.
I have to stop myself and think. But I had a post not long ago kind of talking about that and trying to tie flies with nothing but garbage, basically saying I may still use materials or tie flies that I know can't fish
Yep.
just for novelty purposes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tied a really neat game changer out of strands of nylon rope.
Oh, cool.
And when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. And when I got done, I was happy with it. But the more I looked at it and thought about it, I was like, there's no way you could cast this.
Oh.
And even if you were able to cast it, I think it would just float on top of the water. It wouldn't do like
Right.
a normal game changer. So,
Yeah.
but at that point, I was like, this project's for fun. So if I
Yeah.
want to do something, I'll do it, and it'll just be a novelty fly. Hang in your
Yep.
cubicle or
Yep.
fly tying list, whatever. So
Or at the station, right? Because you're a firefighter, right?
yes, sir, that's correct.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's right on. Yeah, it's a good little art project.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, Yelma, you're back. Oh, what's up?
Yeah, okay,
What's up, Aldo?
so-
What were you gonna say, Aldo?
My fly took not a whole lot of time to tie.
You're done it already?
So but
He's done?
you know what it was? It was the hook prep took a long time, which
Right.
maybe couldn't have been done blindfolded, but maybe I could have done that on camera because then it would have been. Well, anyway,
Well, that's
Yilma, take
all
it away.
Oh, okay. Fact or fishy number 2. So this dude, I started off my story is kind of weird anyway. So this dude, he was walking to the coast. I'm not gonna say which coast, but it was a coast. Chucked his lure in the water. Never saw his lure hit the water at all. But started reeling, thinking that maybe he just missed a splash. Nothing, to his surprise. Maybe it was it landed somewhere. Maybe it landed soft. Whatever.
Okay.
Didn't see it hit, and then started reeling in, and all of a sudden his line got tight. And a seagull fell from the sky.
Oh no! How about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
He hooked into it. He's accidentally.
Uh-huh.
He started yelling for his dad. His dad came by, said, "What the beep?"
Yeah.
Once it got close to the boat, the seagull pretty much like ripped
Yeah.
the two guys apart, but eventually came off the hook and flew away.
Oh man. That's a fact. 100%.
I'll say fact because I've done that.
Yeah, I'll say.
You've done that?
You say you've done that?
What's the story there?
Seagulls and pelicans. I've either done it directly or been
Yeah.
with the party involved in doing it. So
Yeah.
It's fact. Yeah, it's definitely fact. It could have been you. Maybe you wrote it in this forum. Yeah.
well, maybe it was. Or somebody wrote it about me. They're like, look at this moron.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That sounds.
So that was
dramatic.
number 2.
That's so
Although
good.
your fly looks good though, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Great.
I lost my material, so I don't know what's going on. But Brad, question for you. With
Yes.
with Project Litterbug, so do you actually go and fish some of these flies, eh?
Yes.
And have you caught fish on them?
A few of them, yes.
No way.
There's my logo.
Yeah.
I don't really have a name for it, like maybe straw clouser, or I don't know. I don't really have a name for them all.
Yeah.
But the one that looks like my logo, I had a chartreuse version of it with a yellow straw.
Yep.
And I caught a few bass on it one day.
Wow.
And then on the I tied one with black and purple, and I caught a little tarpon down in
What?
Nice.
Mosquito Lagoon on it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Got a tarpon on a trash fly?
That's
amazing.
so cool. That's so
I
cool.
was super stoked because that's my favorite fish. But then when I caught one on that, I was like, even better.
Yeah, that is the coolest. Like fly
That's
tying
cool.
already is cool because you're tying your own flies and you're catching fish on something you made, and then you've taken it a step further, and now you're tying, flies using trash that you've collected and catching fish on those. It's amazing. A tarpon too.
I mean, he's a little baby. It wasn't nothing to brag about, but
Right.
it was still,
Still.
cool to be able to do that.
Hell yeah.
I caught a baby tarpon, and man, they fight.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. You didn't even know it was on your line.
I didn't even know it was on my line.
Amazing. I love it.
I saw the fish come up and hit your clouds, and I was like, "Set your hook!" And you're like, "What?" It was awesome. It was
So
awesome. All right, number 3.
Number
Ella.
3.
Yoma.
Okay, so I don't know if yeah, I guess this is funny. Okay, so a guy is at the river bank, snuck up on a doe.
Okay, like a deer,
A deer?
And yeah,
a female deer.
slapped,
Female deer.
female deer. That was funny. Slapped her butt with his fly rod. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Getting a little weird.
It kicked him 50 times, broke his rod, and he apparently has learned his lesson, I would assume. Fact or fishy?
Do we know what state
50
this took place in?
50 times. Sorry?
Do we know what state this took place in?
Good question.
No, we do
Okay.
not. We do not.
I'm gonna go.
If it's from Florida or Georgia. It probably is fact. I could see somebody.
You
From
can see that happening?
Florida.
Well, this was okay.
Yeah. I think this is fact too. Yeah, 100%.
I think it's fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fact. It's from the same forum. I wanted to do 2 facts to kind of like stump you, but it didn't work. But yeah, it's from the same forum, so it's probably Georgia, man.
What forum
It
is
was from
this? This forum is insane.
I know it's a long one too.
What's the
I
forum?
gotta find another one though because I feel like they're blending in all these.
Which
stories.
forum is it, Yoma? Do you have the name?
Yeah, hold on. It
There's definitely a
is-
theme of
Yeah.
other animal encounters while fishing.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Totally.
it's
Except
actually
there's a
it's from
second
an ice fishing forum. It's called Ice Shanty.
Okay, good old ice shanty. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So
Brad, how's your fly
Can I-
going?
I think I'm done.
Okay, I think I'm done too.
Okay, should we deep?
I think we should
Blindfold?
de-blind and then see what we've done.
be blind.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh. I mean,
Oh,
oh no! You know what I somehow did? I
Whoa.
knocked the little the little loop,
Yeah.
A little tab.
the little where the tab connects to the can, which is like supposed to be the eye of the hook.
Oh yeah.
I'll have
no,
to glue
Brad-
that back on.
Brad
but,
is- sorry, Aldo.
whoa, Brad!
I know. I just noticed it.
Brad, your fly is dope. What the hell?
That
That looks amazing.
fly's amazing.
Please take pictures of it and send it to us so we can put it.
I love
Oh
it.
my god, that's awesome.
I
Dude.
love
will
it.
absolutely do that.
That's
I
so
would
cool.
fish that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would slay smallmouth bass. Look at this piece of that I tied.
It's,
Well-
it's not that bad. I don't know.
It's not that bad. Well, check this out.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, right on.
Oh,
Dang.
shit.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
Brad, you got
That's
more.
crazy.
You've got some more experience doing this, and that's a nice fly, man. Nicely done.
That's a nice
nice-
fly, man.
nice
Nicely
fly.
done.
Love it.
Hey, should we factor fishy, Brad? Mike?
Oh, you mean Mitchie's
Breakfast.
Fishies 5?
That's what I mean. Yeah, Mitchie's fishy.
For sure, we can Mitchie's Fishy. Do you want to? Okay, so Brad, we do this other segment on the podcast.
Okay.
That is, we have 5 questions that we ask every guest on the show, and it's the same 5 questions, and they're called Mitchie's Fishies 5 because my name's Mitchie, and they're fishy questions. There's 5 of them.
They're fishy
5 of them.
questions.
Yeah. I'm just pulling them up here real quick on my phone because I can't.
I'm happy with this.
Weirdly enough, I can't remember them fully.
Oh, I know the first one. Can
I just don't want to yeah, you start. You kick it off. Here's the first one.
Brad, what is your favorite fish and why?
Oh, yeah.
That'd have to be a tarpon.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Why tarpon? What about tarpon that makes it your fave?
I think they have an allure to them, like a mystique.
Yep.
And then they're also very challenging. Their mouths are so hard, and the jumps, and I mean they just don't give up. And then I also, I guess it's kind of a weird thing to like about a fish, but I like that they're not harvested.
Right.
I know in Florida, it used to be, I don't know if it still is, you pay $50 for a permit and you can keep 2 of them, I think. But I mean, they're not edible, so you just keep one, put it on your wall. And I think I like that because that means the population will always be good.
Right.
Hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely tarpon, and for all those reasons.
That's
But
a-
I've
that's
got
great.
several good fishing memories from tarpon. My first experience ever with one, I don't know how long I'm allowed to talk.
Oh, as long as you want.
No, no.
As long as you want. It actually bleeds into one of the other questions, which is what is your favorite fishing memory?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, okay. Well, I was going to tell you my first encounter with the tarpon. I was probably 11, and I was down in the Keys with my family, and
Love the Keys.
I had was essentially an inshore largemouth bass.
Yeah.
Largemouth bass setup combo. It was like an ugly stick rod and Shakespeare reel. Nothing
Have the same
high
setup,
quality.
man.
It's awesome.
Well, it was a cheap Shakespeare reel, and you'll hear why in just a minute. But so anyway, I was just exploring one day, and I went to the neighboring hotel where we were.
Yep.
And they had a little canal with mangroves on either side of it coming up to a cleaning table. And I was just going to go down there and look for snook or whatever. And somebody had just cleaned some yellowtail snapper, and the carcasses were right there in the bottom. I mean, it was probably 4 or 5 foot of water, or probably 3 or 4 foot of water. And while I was fishing, I saw this tarpon, probably 5 foot long tarpon, just swim up, slurp up a snapper, and then keep going. I was like,
Oh, man.
oh, I got an idea. So I had a wire rig or wire leader rig set up with probably a 2-aught hook.
Yep.
And I hopped down there, grabbed one of the snapper, hooked it through the tail, and put it back down there in the pile. And sure enough, he came back around for another meal and slurped up my snapper.
Oh, man.
And I said, "Oh boy, what do I do now?"
Yeah.
I knew nothing about him. I was 11. I was by myself,
Jesus.
and so he ate it, and I was like, "Well, I'll start feeding him line." I knew that much, so I gave him some line. I said, "I think that's enough." So I closed the bell and set the hook, and pop. I mean, it was probably 10, 15 seconds, but he jumped right there in the canal, and it
Oh,
was
man.
incredible.
That is so cool.
That's when I fell in love with tarpon. That's when I was like, "Oh, that's my fish."
That is a
but-
crazy, crazy moment.
To answer your second question, my favorite memory would have to be I was probably 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And me and my dad went fishing one night in the Caloosahatchee River down there in Fort Myers. And we put in our neighborhood at the time, at the back of it was the Orange River, which tied into the Caloosahatchee. And I had a little 12-foot aluminum john boat that we had fixed up, and we putted up through the Orange River and into the Caloosahatchee. And we had brought with us probably a dozen shiners, and we had artificial as well. And we were just throwing whatever, trying to figure out, what was eating and what was out there. And that night was the most epic fishing trip ever. I caught a jack that was probably, I think it was like 9 or 10 pounds.
Whoa.
And then we had tarpon rolling all around us the whole time, of various sizes. And we had the shiners out. That's what I caught the jack on, but they weren't really messing with the shiners. And one of them things hey, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
And we threw on some Zoom Super Flukes, and it was every other cast. We were either hooking up or landing a fish, and I think we landed 5 juvenile tarpon that night.
Jeez.
So I caught my first tarpon with my dad, and it was just an epic night seeing all that go down and catching them and all that. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's a great memory. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Okay, the second question, or I guess the third, is if you could fish anywhere in the world right now, where would you go and why? Assuming it's the best time to go. Let's just say it's the best season of fishing there.
That's a tough one.
I know, there's so many good places.
I don't know where it's at, but I've seen the videos and the pictures of people catching roosterfish off the beach.
Oh,
with
yeah.
fly rod.
Baja, California, Mexico, yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, yeah. Good answer.
That's at the top of my catch it list. I've always wanted to catch a roosterfish, and to do it on the fly rod, that would be pretty epic.
That would be very epic.
Totally.
Yeah, there's just something about that, like going to seeing them bomb on ATVs down the shore and spot them from the dunes, and then going to make a cast is like,
yeah,
that's a rock and roll.
Oh yeah,
it seems like an adrenaline rush of a trip.
Oh yeah. Oh man, anywhere you can spot fish from ATVs on sand dunes, and then throw fly rods to these things. Those are crazy looking fish too. Like so cool. That would be fun. Yep, that's at the top of my list too. I don't blame you.
We've been talking about roosterfish for a while now.
Roosterfish, man, they're cool. They're super cool looking. The next one is why do you fly fish? Why do you fly fish? What do you get out of fly fishing?
Fly fishing to me, whenever people ask me that or I talk to people about it, I compare it to archery because it's very technical.
Nice.
It takes a lot of skill. All the variables have to line up just right for you to succeed. And that's why I do it. I got started, like I said, back when I lived in Florida. I had a friend at the time teach me how to cast and teach me the basics of it.
Yeah.
And I dabbled with it a little bit. And then I moved up here to Georgia, and my fishing time kind of dwindled and my interest in fly fishing kind of went away. But then, again, it was one of those things I was like, I need to find a hobby to get into or, whatever. And I still had all my original time materials. So I was like, I'll pick that back up. And about the time I did, I started following a bunch of people on Instagram who fly fish, and Taylor Trash Fly Fishing was one of them.
Yeah.
And I started listening to their podcast, and that really got me fired up and into it. Yeah. And it just took off from there. Because at the time when I was doing it, it was 2006, 2007 when I started getting into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much hype there was about it, or, I think social media really blew it up personally. But, to me, I just didn't have that interest in it. I was young and immature for one thing, but now that I know what's involved with it and can understand and appreciate the sport, I love it. Just having like I said, having all those variables line up where the fly hits the water at the right spot at the right time, and tides and everything. It's just so much that goes into it.
Yeah, it's the ultimate feeling when you catch a fish with all those variables, like you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. So cool. Yeah, great answer. I love it. Oh, here's the rest of my fly time material. I dropped it, and I was like, where'd it go? It was right on my leg. Jeez Louise. Anyway, doesn't matter. This thing's crazy looking. Number 5, and this is the last of the Mitchie's Fishies 5, is if you were a fly pattern, what would you be? What represents you as a fly?
Ooh.
And I'm wondering if this is going to be one of your own maybe trash fly creations, Litterbug creations. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I know. There's so many patterns out there, and we've asked this question to so many people now, and it's always, we usually get different answers, which is super cool. But yeah, if you were a fly, what would you be? What fly would you be?
I don't know. I don't want to answer it and feel pretentious or whatever.
No,
conceited,
you know.
so it's hard to answer that, but
Yeah.
um,
It's meant to be that kind of, respect, like look at yourself kind of question and be like, I think I would be like this because,
I got you.
Yeah.
I would probably say a Shimano, just because to me it represents, what all fish want. And if I were a fly, I would want to be eaten by a fish. I mean, that's your goal.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And in life, that's that's how I live life. Like if I got a goal, I want to achieve it.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be it.
I love that. That's great. That's a great answer.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a Mitchie's Fishies 5, man. Thanks, Brad. Thanks for coming on and doing this. It was like super fun.
Yeah, man.
It was cool to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
Brad,
to meet y'all too.
Send us some pictures of that. Send us some pictures of that fly when you get a chance, so that we can post it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I will definitely be checking y'all's podcast out too.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Give it a listen.
Right on. Thanks,
Brad,
man.
where can people find your account? Where can people find your stuff? Or yeah.
I just have Instagram, and it's just Project_Litterbug.
Right on.
And it's got the
Shimano.
I wasn't prepared.
Oh, it's all good.
It's just got the logo. I don't know if this will help, but
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
There it
Oh,
is.
perfect.
We'll put that in the
Project_Litterbug.
We'll put it in the description too. And whoa, another thing about your shirt I just realized, is that a tarpon as the lamp?
It is.
Oh man, it's even better. It's even better now.
I thought it was the leg.
And he's
I didn't
got
know
the
it was
fishing
a
rod
tarpon.
now too. It's even better now. Look at that thing.
Even better.
That's
And
awesome.
he told him a Zebco 33 with the bobber, which is just,
That's awesome.
makes it that much better.
shit.
It's
That's
all
so
around a
funny.
great shirt.
It is, man.
Awesome.
Oh
So
man.
good.
Well, Brad, thanks again for coming on, and absolutely, people check out his Instagram page because it's super cool. And yeah, thanks for raising awareness around trash and litter in our rivers. I think it's an important thing that we gotta combat. So yeah, thanks, man. Super cool.
Thank you all for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, take care.
Okay.
Take it easy, Brad.
Take care,
All right,
man.
y'all. Good night.
See ya.